You have played hundreds, maybe even thousands of hours on Roblox. You've built entire empires and survived every disaster imaginable. They are buried deep inside the code, with strange glitches and forgotten stories they prayed you would never find. You think you know these games? I'm here to tell you, you have nitrogen monoxide idea. What if I told you that in nearly every game, there are secrets developers hid from you? Today, we're exposing all of it. We re-breaking through walls and digging up the haunted history of Roblox to reveal 15 facts so weird, you won't believe they're real. And we're starting with a secret room played by millions that the developers tried to erase. So if you want to see these secrets for yourself, subscribe right now, so you don't miss a thing. Let's do this. Fact number 1. The secret disaster control room in natural disaster survival, first up at number 15, is a secret hiding in one of the most iconic games on Roblox, natural disaster survival. For years, millions of you have spawned on that glass tower, just waiting to survive floods and volcanoes. And when you press it, the floor drops you into a massive, hidden laboratory. This isn't some tiny closet, this is a gigantic complex with pipes, glowing computers, and a huge Roblox studio logo. Some people think it was for a special event, but whatever it was, it's still there. You survive, you go back to the lobby, you do it again. There are buttons, these aren't for show. Press a button, and you can launch a tsunami or an earthquake on the tiny map below. It makes you wonder, are the disasters in your game random, or is someone else secretly in control? But while you were all just jumping around, you were standing on top of the biggest secret in the entire game. If you go to the very center of that lobby and just start clicking everywhere, you might find an invisible button. As you explore, you find a control room with perfect miniature models of the game's maps, like a crazy chessboard, and below every map. Fact number 2. Glitching through walls with emotes at number 14. We have a trick players use to completely break games. It's the art of glitching out of bounds, and one of the best ways to do it is with emotes. Developers use invisible walls to keep you in, but certain emotes can literally push your character's body right through solid objects. A perfect example was in a game called Pressure. Players realized if they backed into a wall and did the V-pose emote, they would phase right through it into a black void. And what they found, there is an insane, behind-the-scenes look at the game. These out-of-bounds areas are a graveyard of forgotten game assets. You could find entire old versions of the game lobby just floating in nothingness because the developers were too lazy to delete them. Sometimes, these zones even have hidden messages from the developers, inside jokes, warnings for hackers, or just bizarre notes we were never meant to see. Other times, they're intentionally creepy, with weird sounds designed to scare anyone who glitched their way in. It's proof that the game you see is just a stage, and right behind the curtain is total chaos. Fact number 3. Brookhaven's hidden horrors, coming in at number 13, is a secret from one of the biggest role-playing games ever, Brookhaven. This game looks like a perfect, peaceful town where you buy a house and drive a car. You have to glitch through a specific cracked window to find a totally abandoned wing of the building. If you touch the paper, you can now use the book. This scavenger hunt leads you all over the map to hidden buttons and secret levers. If you do it all right, you unlock a terrifying room with cryptic messages that make nitrogen monoxide sense. People have found so many of these secret rooms, you have to ask, what is really going on in Brookhaven? The walls are stained, the lights are flickering, and on a table is a weird piece of paper. Clicking it makes it glow. That's step 1. But underneath it all is a secret network of terrifying rooms that prove this town has a dark secret. And finding these rooms is an insane conspiracy theory. For example, one huge secret starts at the hospital, but you don't walk in the front door. Next, you have to sprint to the library and find a single red book hidden on a high shelf. Fact number 4. The haunted game. No players online. For our 12th weird fact, we're not looking at a secret in a game. We're looking at a game that is a secret. A creepy, distorted music box melody starts playing from nowhere. The vibe goes from empty to terrifying. When you grab the second flag, it gets worse. A new player supposedly joins the game, but their username is a garbled mess that changes every second, so you can't report them. You are not alone anymore. It's a haunted game that you were never supposed to play, called No Players Online. It pretends to be a simple, abandoned capture the flag game from the early internet. You join, and you are completely alone on a creepy, silent map. All you have to do is capture 3 flags. Sounds easy, right? Wrong. The second you capture the first flag, everything changes. As you go for the final flag, a message appears in chat. Look behind you. If you actually turn around, a shadowy, horrifying figure attacks you before disappearing. The game is no longer capture the flag, it's survival. When you finally capture the third flag, you're instantly kicked with an error message. An urban legend says the developer made it to resurrect his dead wife, who is now the ghost trapped inside. This is a simple Roblox game turned into a legitimate horror story. Fact number 5. The utterly pointless Dancing Parrots game at number 11 is something that isn't scary, but is just so weird, it's unbelievable. It's a game called Dancing Parrots, and the entire game is just that. There are no objectives, no points, and no story. You just stand in a room and watch low-poly parrots dance. That's it. That is the entire game. The parrots just bob up and down to this super repetitive beat in a hypnotic, weird rhythm. You can walk around, you can zoom in, but the dance never, ever stops. This game has absolutely no purpose. It's not a test, it's not part of a quest, it's just Dancing Parrots. So why is this on the list? Because on a platform with millions of unbelievably complex games, the fact that something so simple and pointless exists is a tribute to how weird the Roblox community is. Dancing Parrots is a cult classic, a digital oddity people visit just to see it. It's the perfect symbol of Roblox's crazy freedom, where even the most bizarre ideas can find an audience. Fact number 6. The Forgotten Halls of Roblox University. Our 10th fact is a trip back in time to a forgotten piece of Roblox history. Way before Roblox was the giant is today, the company made its own games to show what was possible. The textures are simple, the models are clunky, and the whole thing feels like a ghost from a different era of the internet. It was originally made to teach new players how to use the platform. And one of the weirdest is a game frozen in time called Roblox University. This game was made over a decade ago, and it's a bizarre time capsule. It's a massive, blocky campus built with ancient Roblox tools. Today, going to Roblox University is a surreal experience. The campus is almost always completely empty. Its silent halls and abandoned rooms feel like a post-apocalyptic wasteland. It's literally a digital ghost town, built by the founders of Roblox and then just left to rot. Even though it's useless now, the fact that it's still there is an insane quirk of the platform, a monument to how far Roblox has come. Fact number 7. The Great Blox prank. For our 9th weird fact, we have one of the most legendary moments in Roblox history. The day Roblox tricked everyone into thinking it had been bought by Google. This massive prank happened on April Fool's Day in 2007, when players logged in. The entire website was rebranded. The Roblox logo was gone, replaced with a logo that copied Google's style but said Gooblox instead. For years after the prank, that link would redirect to Roblox's website, a permanent reminder of their most successful joke. It was a weird, chaotic, and hilarious moment that showed just how mischievous the early developers were. The prank was insane. They reskinned the entire website. To make it even more believable, they posted a fake news article from the Associated Press announcing that Google had bought Roblox for $380 million. For a while, the entire community went into chaos. Thousands of younger players who didn't know it was April Fool's Day actually believed their favorite game was owned by Google. The name was a pun on Google and Roblox's blocks, and the creators even bought the domain goo.com. Fact number 8. The myth of the hacker ghosts, John and Jane Doe at number 8, is probably the most famous urban legend in Roblox history. The myth of John and Jane Doe. These are 2 of the oldest accounts on the entire platform, with user IDs number 2 and number 3. They were created by the founders of Roblox as test accounts, and for years, they were totally inactive. Players were terrified, and many refused to even log in on that day because they thought they'd lose their accounts. Of course, March 18th came and went, and absolutely nothing happened. Roblox even had to post on their blog to tell everyone to calm down, confirming they were just harmless test accounts. Even so, the legend of John and Jane Doe lives on as an amazing example of how a community can create a ghost story out of absolutely nothing. But as Roblox got bigger, a dark myth started to spread. People claimed John and Jane Doe weren't test accounts, but were actually evil hackers who would one day return to destroy Roblox. The legend got crazy specific. Everyone believed that on March 18, 2017, John Doe would log back in, hack the most popular games, and ban anyone playing them. The panic was unreal. YouTubers made tons of videos warning of the attack. Fact number 9. The impossible two-letter usernames at number 7. We have a weird fact about Roblox accounts. If you try to make a new account right now, your username has to be between 3 and 20 characters long. This account, with its impossible two-letter name, was made for the quality assurance team, the people who tested the platform. The QA account was a symbol of power. A two-letter username is impossible, but it wasn't always like that. In the ancient days of Roblox, some of the first accounts had super short names, which makes them priceless artifacts today. The first account ever was just named Admin, but another insane example is the account QA. But the story of QA took a dark turn. It was eventually targeted and hacked. After the hack, the account was completely deleted, erased from Roblox forever. This event didn't just end a unique piece of Roblox history. It's probably why we have such strict username rules today. The fact that two-letter names could even exist is a crazy glimpse into a wilder era of Roblox. Fact number 10. When moderation fails, bizarre usernames. Our sixth weird fact dives into the chaos of Roblox's moderation system and the insane usernames that have slipped past it. Roblox has a filter that's supposed to stop you from making inappropriate names, but that filter has never been perfect. These names are a test of the moderation system's limits. This has led to a bizarre subculture of players who screenshot these usernames like they recollecting trophies from a lawless time on the platform. It's a weird cat-and-mouse game between players and the mods. The players who make them know they will get caught, but for a short time, they exist as walking violations of the rules. Creative players have always found ways around it, resulting in some of the weirdest and most hilarious usernames you will ever see. Throughout Roblox history, people have gotten away with names so insane, it's a miracle they lasted for more than 5 minutes. Eventually, the Roblox moderators find them. But instead of just banning them, they're often forced to change their name to something normal. Fact number 11. The Million Robux joke. The Dominus hat at number 5 is the story of how a developer-esque joke became one of the biggest status symbols in all of Roblox. I'm talking about the Dominus series of hats. Today, these hats are legendary, with some selling for tens of millions of Robux, that's tens of thousands of real-world dollars. He never meant for it to be a legendary item. It was just a funny, over-the-top design that was an inside joke for the dev team. As Roblox grew, so did the legend of the Dominus. Its price climbed higher and higher, making it the peak of Roblox wealth. This accidental creation of a virtual luxury good is a bizarre feature of online economies. It shows how player demand can turn a developer-esque joke into a digital asset worth more than a real car, but its value exploded completely by accident. Because it was so rare and looked so unique, it became the most sought-after item in the trading community. Owning a Dominus is the ultimate flex, but this iconic item started as a complete punchline. The very first Dominus hat was designed by a Roblox developer named Merely. Players started trading insane amounts of items and Robux just to get one. Fact number 12. Everyone's first friend, Builderman at number 4 is a weird and nostalgic fact for anyone who joined Roblox years ago. It's about your very first friend on the platform. Today, when you make a Roblox account, you have 0 friends. But it used to be that every single new user started with one friend already on their list, an account named Builderman. But the legacy is still there. For an entire generation of players, he was a key part of their experience. The fact that the CEO of the company was automatically your first friend is a weird and awesome piece of Roblox history from a time when the platform felt less like a giant corporation and more like a small club. Builderman is the official account of David Baszucki, the founder and CEO of Roblox. Back in the day, every new player automatically friended him to make them feel more welcome. It created an instant, shared community. Every single player, from the biggest noob to the most famous pro, had this one friend in common. Builderman was the universal friend. They eventually stopped doing this as the platform got too big. Can you imagine having hundreds of millions of friends? Fact number 13. Secret messages from developers. Our third weird fact takes us back to the hidden world just outside the map. We've talked about finding old game assets and creepy Easter eggs when you glitch out of bounds, But sometimes you find something way more personal, secret messages left by the developers themselves. These are like digital messages in a bottle, hidden where we were never supposed to look. These messages can be anything. Some are just inside jokes or funny comments about the game. Others are technical warnings to hackers telling them to get out of the game's code. It's a strange way for a creator to talk to the most dedicated or most rule-breaking players. Sometimes, these messages are surprisingly personal. Developers might leave notes thanking their team or talking about how much they loved working on the project. These hidden messages are a kind of digital signature, a permanent mark on the game that only a few people will ever see. They a weird and amazing reminder that behind every Roblox game are real people who want to leave their own secret legacy hidden deep in the code. Fact number 14. The Ghosts in the Machine. Glitched avatars at number 2 is a weird fact about the very core of your Roblox identity, your avatar. The avatar shop is massive, but it has strict rules. Because of old bugs, some accounts manage to exist without any clothing at all, appearing as blank mannequins. These are relics of a buggier time. Another quirk is legacy items. Some accessories from the earliest days of Roblox have been deleted from the store. But players who got them back then can still wear them, turning their avatars into living museums of forgotten digital fashion. Over the years, however, glitches have let some players create avatars that break these rules, turning their accounts into walking anomalies. These avatars should not exist. One of the most common examples is the no-clothes avatar. These avatar glitches are usually from old account creation bugs that have been patched, which makes these accounts incredibly unique and rare. They are permanent, unfixable glitches ghosts in the machine that remind us of the platform's long and messy history. Seeing one of these glitched avatars in a game is a super weird and rare sight. Fact number 15. When hackers get hacked. And finally, our number 1 weirdest fact in Roblox is the ultimate story of digital karma. For as long as Roblox has existed, there have been cheaters and hackers who use exploits to ruin the game for everyone. They fly, they teleport, they are the villains of Roblox. But in an amazing twist, sometimes the hunters become the hunted. There are legendary stories of the very hackers who create these cheats having their own accounts compromised. This is often done by security researchers or white hat hackers trying to clean up the platform. And after they get into the hacker's account, they don't just ban it. They deliver a much more public and humiliating punishment. Instead of just deleting the account, these anti-hackers will reportedly change the cheater's username to something like "I'm a cheater" or "I got hacked." They might change the account's avatar to a noob or dress it in ridiculous clothes, turning the hacker's own profile into a public billboard advertising that they cheated. It's a brutal form of poetic justice, where the bad guys get a taste of their own medicine. It proves that even in the wild west of the internet, sometimes karma logs in. And that's the list 15 of the weirdest, most unbelievable secrets from the world of Roblox. From secret labs and haunted games to the insane history of its community, it's clear Roblox has endless hidden depths. What was your favorite fact on this list? Let me know in the comments right now. And if you enjoyed this look into the strange side of Roblox, smash that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Thanks for watching, and stay curious. The games you play every day are living worlds, full of history and the digital ghosts of forgotten ideas. So next time you log in, maybe you'll look a little closer, click on that weird wall, or ask if the game you're playing is really as simple as it looks.